Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Simone here, and today I'm going to be filming a very fun video. And the lighting is not my friend today, and I also have a migraine, so we're just going to try and get through this and it's going to be fine. Today I'm going to be doing a video that I'm really excited about. I asked 12 of my favourite booktubers to recommend me a book to read. So I have asked 12 of them, like I said, and they all gave me a recommendation based on a book that maybe they want to read or a book that they've read and really enjoyed, and they picked a book off of my owned TBR. So these are all books that I've read, and then my hope is that I will read all 12 of them this year, and yeah, I'm really excited about this one. So let's get started. So the first booktuber that I spoke to and asked to pick a book for me was the wonderful Nikki from I Read Past My Bedtime. Nikki doesn't really upload anymore, but she's one of my favourite people. She does do Instagram stories, so I will link that down below so you can go and check it out. I love her. I think she's amazing. She's really creative, and I was really interested to see what she was going to pick for me. And the book that she decided that I think she wants to read this one as well, so this is why she picked it. But it is My Mother the Psychopath by Olivia Rain. So this, as far as I know, is a true story, and it is actually about Olivia and her growing up. So this follows what happened. So basically her mother was a psychopath, or is a psychopath, and so she grew up obviously having to deal with that. She has now, I believe, cut ties or tried to cut ties with her mother, and it's kind of her looking back on that, and it's kind of a memoir, I guess, of her life. I am really interested in this. I think this one would be a really good one to read, kind of for the mental health-a-thon and that kind of thing. Obviously I'm not 100% sure. I think the chapters are done with psychopathy symptoms, so I think like lack of empathy, and I think then she'll talk about how that kind of manifested itself in her mother. And yeah, no, I'm interested in reading this one. I think this is going to be a really interesting read, and I think it's interesting to see it from a different perspective. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. So thank you, Nikki, for picking this one for me. Up next we have Linda from Linda's World of Books. Linda is somebody who I've really enjoyed watching her channel, and we have become quite good friends, and I absolutely love her. She's really charming. She's just one of those people that you just feel like you get to know more and more as you speak to her. So the book that she picked for me was Pieces of Her by Karen Slaughter. This will be my second Karen Slaughter book. I've actually read this one. I'm not going to say what I thought of it because you'll have to wait and see that in my January wrap up, but I have read this one now. This one follows a girl named Andrea Oliver who goes on her birthday, goes with her mother to the local mall, and there is a mass shooting, and her mother basically, something happens with her mum at the time of this, and she ends up in the hospital, and it kind of goes from there. It's really interesting, and yeah, it's a really interesting plot, and yeah, I'm really glad that you picked this one for me, Linda. Thank you so much. And yes, next up we have my wonderful friend Charlie from the channel Charlie Brooke. Charlie has not uploaded for a little while, but I will link her channel down below just in case she ever decides to come back, because you guys need to check out her channel. If you haven't already, go back and watch all of her old videos because they're amazing. And when I asked Charlie to pick me a book for this video, I kind of knew what she was going to pick already, and she did. So I am going to be reading Boy Swallows Universe by Trent Dalton. This actually is the only book I've ever bought hardcover new from Waterstones. Did I buy this from Waterstones? Yeah, Waterstones, I think it was. Was it Waterstones? I'm fairly certain it was. If you know Charlie's channel, you know she raved about this book last year. This was like her book, and I love the cover of this. And so when I went to go and see Emily and Charlie, I actually bought this book with them. And inside the front cover, it is very special because it has a little note that Charlie wrote for me. Makes me really happy, and I absolutely love Charlie. I don't know like loads about the story of this. I know it follows it's an Australian book, and I know it talks about some people or some boys and prison, and I didn't really want to know too much else about it. I know it's about brotherhood and about friendship, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. It's quite a big book, but I feel like Charlie's raved about it so much that I'm just really excited about it. I think it's about 450 pages, so it's not too bad. Not too big, should I say. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. So yeah, let's hope that I enjoy this one. We next have a wonderful, wonderful friend of mine, and that is Alex from the channel Ernest Alex Reads. I highly recommend that you go and check her out. She has not got enough subscribers for what the amazing content that she puts out. She's incredible. And I asked Alex what book I should read from my shelf, and she picked Circe by Madeline Miller, which I'm really excited about. This is really shiny. I was actually meant to buddy read this in January, but my copy was in that massive suitcase that I have. And so yeah, this I believe is a talks about the famous story of Circe, but it's like a retelling of it, I think. In fact, it says that Circe, back as Superwoman, Miller's Me Too era, kick-ass portrait of a woman trying to defy the men and fate's arrayed against her is enchanting. So I don't really know too much about this, but I've heard a lot of people have really enjoyed this one. I've heard that it's really quite modern, but really interesting, and I love the cover of this. Yeah, so it's not something that I normally would read, I guess, but I have heard such good praise for this, and yeah, I cannot wait. Next up, we have the wonderful Kaz from Cats and Camera, who you all know I absolutely love, and she's incredible. She actually picked a book that I was gifted by a different booktuber. I was gifted this book by Nicole from A Beautiful Chaos of Books, and Kaz picked this one, and I'm very excited about it. She picked More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera, so this will actually be my first Adam Silvera book. I do own a couple now, and haven't read either of them yet, but this one I'm really excited about reading. So I think this follows a 16-year-old boy named Aaron, who I think it's to do with like him coming to terms with the fact that he might have feelings for a guy. I don't really know too much about this one as a story. I've heard, like I said, great things about Adam Silvera's writing though. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Again, I love this cover, and if Kaz loves it, I feel like I'm definitely going to. So yeah, excited about this one. Then I asked my wonderful friend and book sister, and that is Emily from Novelle Novels. I love Emily. You will know she's like my favourite person of all time. And I asked her what she wanted me to read, and I was really unsure what she was going to go with because there's so many books on my shelf that I was like, she might go for this one. But the one that she ended up going with was, oh, The Shining. Not The Shining. She did not go for The Shining. It's Shining. When God Was a Rabbit by Sarah Winman, which is the second. So I have two Sarah Winman books on my shelves, and I haven't read either of them, and I am excited. And Emily really liked this one, so this is the one she decided to go for, which I'm really excited about. So this is about a brother and a sister, about childhood and growing up, friendships and families, triumph and tragedy, and everything in between. It's a book about love in all its forms. So it sounds really interesting. I don't know anything else about the story. It sounds really weird. When God Was a Rabbit. Not really sure what that's in reference to. But apparently this is her debut, so yeah, looking forward to reading this. I then asked the wonderful Clint from the channel Reads Readers, and I love Clint, and again, I wasn't sure what he was going to go for, but he went for a James Patterson book, which you all know, I love James Patterson, and thank you, Clint, for getting me to read a different one, because I normally read his series, so I'm excited to have. I've got a few standalones, but I haven't got to them, so I'm looking forward to this. This one is Never Never by James Patterson and Candice Fox. This follows Detective Harriet Blue. I believe this is a standalone. I'm not actually 100% sure, but it's a new one to me anyway. It follows, so Detective Harriet Blue, her brother's under arrest for a series of murders, and her chief wants to get her away from the press, so he assigns her a case in the middle of the outback, and she then has to not only deal with what's happening with her brother, but also deal with the case that she's been assigned to, where 3 young people have disappeared. And yeah, I'm interested in reading this one. Again, a massive thank you to Clint for picking this, because I don't know if I'd have got to it as soon, just because I have so many James Patterson books. But yeah, if he likes this one, I'm sure I will too. Then we have somebody who I've already mentioned earlier on, and that is the wonderful Nicole from A Beautiful Chaos of Books, and she picked Sleep by C.L. Taylor, and I am buzzing to read this one. I kind of knew what she was going to go for when, because I know how much she's raved about this book. So I've read 3 C.L. Taylor books, and I've really liked 2 of them. Didn't like one, but that was because of the trope that was in it, and I've heard amazing things. This was Nicole's pick for the Thrillerathon last year, which I didn't end up reading this one. I think I read... I want to say I read somebody else's pick for it, but anyway, very excited to get to this. This is like a locked-in mystery, I believe, and it takes place at a hotel on the remote Scottish island of Rum. and it's about like a retreat and there's a murderer, and yeah, I am very excited. C.L. Taylor has amazing writing. Even the book that I didn't like of hers, her writing was amazing. It was just the story I wasn't a fan of because of the trope. But yeah, cannot wait to read this. I am absolutely buzzing for it. And yeah, this is going to be a fun one. We then have another interesting, exciting book. This is another Karen Slaughter book as well, actually. So I have two for this video. So you guys really wanted me to read Karen Slaughter, which I'm not against because I loved Pretty Girls. So I asked the wonderful Victoria from What Victoria Read, who again is somebody I've grown really close to this year. And she decided that I should read The Good Daughter by Karen Slaughter. And I can't wait. You will probably have seen my 1,000 pages readathon TBR, which is Victoria's readathon, and this is actually one of the books I'm going to be reading for that, so I'm very excited about it. It follows two sisters who there was an attack 28 years ago on their home, left their mother dead and their father devastated, and this is 28 years later, and one of the daughters has become a lawyer, and it's kind of about that, I think. Yeah, I love Karen Slaughter's writing, so I'm really looking forward to reading this one. And this is the one I've heard the most amazing things about, so I'm buzzing. Okay, then we have something really, really exciting. And I'm going to pop in a clip just now because I basically asked the wonderful Leanne from Literary Diversions, who has become such a good friend. She's like one of my best friends now, and I absolutely love her. And we talk like every single day, and honestly, I don't know what I would do without her. And I asked her to pick me a book for this video, and I didn't really know if she was going to do it or what was going to happen, because this was before we'd really spoken too much. And she'd sent me a clip to pop in, so I'm going to pop it in here.
Hey guys, it's Leanne from Literary Diversions here, and Simone has asked me to pop on her channel, her lovely channel that I could get very comfortable on. Let's be perfectly honest, I'm obsessed with it. I know you're obsessed with it because you're here, but more people need to be obsessed with it this year. I may make that a mission. Anyway, Simone has asked me to pick a book for her BookTube Picks My TBR for 2020 video, and I have picked a kind of sneaky one. So I'm not gonna lie, there was a lot on the list that I thought, she has to read that one now, like right now. And there were quite a few on the list that I hadn't heard of, and now I'm going to buy. So thank you ever so much, Simone, for doing that. I'll send you my bank manager's letters when they come in, you know, the demand ones. But there was one book on there that I spotted that I very recently bought for myself, and the reason that I have picked it is in the hopes that Simone will do a buddy read with me. In 2020 at some point. Please. And that book is Things We Didn't Talk About When I Was a Girl by Jeannie Vanesco. So this one is a memoir by Jeannie Vanesco about a relationship that she had with a wonderful boy in her life. She was best friends with him all the way through high school. They were exceptionally close, and their relationship ended when he raped her, and she hasn't done anything about it in her life, and she's gone on with her life. And now, all of these years later, something has happened which has made her think, what did he think about that situation? What did he think about the time when he raped me and then we didn't talk about it? What's he done with his life since then? Should I have said something about it? And so she decides, inexplicably and so bravely, to interview him about it and to publish the transcripts of that in this memoir. And I am so incredibly excited. I picked it up and read the first couple of pages, as I do with all of the books that I haul, and it was so good. So yeah, Simone, do you want to read it with me? I wish you luck with the rest of your list, girlfriend, because I don't know if everybody's going to be as nice as me.
So there you are, guys. Yes, Leanne, I will 100% buddy read with you. So I will be reading Things We Didn't Talk About When I Was a Girl by Jeannie Velasco, which I actually have on my Kindle, so I'll put a picture up here. So I don't... Leanne has explained it for you better than I could have, so thank you, Leanne, and I can't wait to buddy read with you. I'm just very excited. So yeah, that is going to be one I'm going to add as well. Then we have number 11, so our penultimate book, and I asked the wonderful Laura from What Everyone Else Is Reading, another channel you need to check out, and she decided to go for a book, the first book in a series I'm very excited about, so I cannot wait, and that is Eeny Meeny by MJ Arledge. I have heard about this book so much, and I still haven't read it. I own like a few of the others in the series, and so I really want to get to the first one. It is quite a big book, actually. It's what, 450 pages, which is quite big for a thriller generally, but I've heard really good things. This follows Detective Inspector Helen Grace, and it's about that, I guess. I don't really know anything else about this story. Like I say, I've heard really good things, and I cannot wait to read this. So thank you, Laura, for picking this one for me. And then the last one, I asked the wonderful Mary from, used to be with Cinnamon Please, but she now is Mary Among Stories, which I think just is wonderful and fits her so well. I love Mary's channel, and I asked her to pick me one, and I wasn't sure what she was going to go for, and then she did me dirty. She picked a massive book. So thank you for that, Mary. But I do need to read it, I guess. So I am, you know, I'm all right with it. So she picked The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson, which is the second book to the Mistborn series. So it's trilogy. So I read Final Empire last year, and I really, really loved it. Was it last year or the year before? Was it the year before? Oh my lord. Has it really been that long since I read it? Oh my god, okay. Either way, it was either last year or I can't remember when I read it. But she's picked the second one, so I own all three of them. And I need to, she obviously wants me to keep going with the series because I know it's one of her favourites. So I'm going to hopefully read the second one. I'm not going to say what this is about because I feel like everybody knows, but it's an epic fantasy basically. And yeah, very, very excited to continue on with the series because, like I said, I did love the first one so much. But it is a chunker. In fact, how big is this book? 770 pages long. Thank you, Mary. That was very kind of you to give me this one to read. So there you are, guys. This is, oh my god, this is going to end badly. These are the books that I have been picked along with the things we didn't talk about when I was a girl, which Leanne picked for me, which I have on my Kindle, like I said, and I cannot wait to read these. So thank you so much for picking them for me. You guys have been amazing, and I'm so happy that you are all in my life. So please go and check out those channels, guys, every single one of them, because they're all great. These are all the books I'm reading. Which ones do you think I should get to first? And yes, I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.